Welcome to Madonna University. My name is Dayla McClendon, and it's my pleasure to give you a tour around our campus today. So to start our tour, we are going to take a look at the Office of Admissions. When you come for your visit, this is where your meeting will start, and you'll talk with your admissions officers about all things Madonna and the process of getting enrolled. Over here, this is your one-stop hub to enrollment. This is the Enrollment Center. This is where you will find a student account, financial aid, as well as the registrar's office when you're ready to register and sign up for your classes. This is the information desk. This is where you'll typically find a student ambassador, and they're here to answer any questions that you may have in regards to where to go on campus. They're answering the phones, and if you need information for your professors, they're here as well. You want to make note of this area. This is the main entrance, and it's one of the areas that's utilized to guide you around campus. This is the 2100 wing. This is where you will find graduate school. One of the things to note about the graduate school here at Madonna is the Madonna Promise, that as an alumni, if you decide to go for the master's level and you come back to Madonna, you will pay the same tuition prices that the undergraduates are paying for their tuition. This is one of the standard classrooms here in the main academic building and the current layout that they are established in. Typically, classes will cap out at around 25 students with a student-to-faculty ratio of about 12:1. So that means you get individual time with your instructors and they will know you face-to-face. This is taking us to the exhibit gallery. This is typically where we will showcase the senior showpieces for our art majors and our graphic design majors. We will also reach out to local artists to showcase their work as well. Sometimes the pieces are for show, and sometimes it's a live exhibit where you can purchase the pieces. This is also an area that is established for students to come and gather where they can study quietly, and it's located directly outside of the library, so you have easy access to the resources. Let's take a look at the library. So here you have the library. To my right, your left, this is where you will find the stacks area. You would give the list of books and resources that you need to the librarians. They would go back and they would get that information for you. If you notice the brick layout here and the brick wall, this is where you will find study rooms that students can book up to 3 hours at no additional cost to the students, where they can do group study projects. Directly behind me, this is the areas where students can study individually or, of course, quietly if they're in a group. And to my left, your right, let's take a look down there. This is where you'll find the Writing Center. This is one of the resources that your admissions officer would talk to you about in your meeting, where you would take your papers in and they would sit down with you and review your papers and help you identify your writing errors so that you become a better writer. All they ask is that you not bring your papers in the day before or the day that it is due. Next to the Writing Center, this is where we'll find tutoring. You can set an appointment or you can do walk-ins. This is also where you will find supplemental instruction, which is set aside for classes that are labeled difficult, typically your nursing or math classes or even some of the sign language courses. This is also where you can find information for Triage. That is a federal program, and if you have any questions about that, you should talk to your admissions officer. This is Kresge Hall. It's one of our 3 lecture halls that we have here on campus. Please make note of this location, as this is also used to guide you around campus. Kresge is where you'll have either science or math courses, but this also doubles as a performance hall for our music majors, vocal performance majors, and our performing arts majors. So a lot of things take place in this area, and it's a lot of fun. This is the CDRC, or the Counseling and Disabilities Resource Center. This is a resource available to our students if you are in need of alternative test-taking options, in need of an interpreter, or if you currently have an IEP in high school. The university is happy to look those over to make sure we will have the resources available so that you are successful in your time here. The CDRC also partners with a third-party program called Ulliance. Ulliance is a counseling program available to our students, and the first 6 sessions for any topic are completely free to our students. You'll also find that they're available 24/7, 365. This area is the Science Lecture Hall. This is a standardized lecture hall that most students will think of when they think of a college classroom. And this is utilized again to guide you around campus, so we want you to make note of this area. Directly across from this is where you will find the Interfaith Dialogue. Now, keep in mind, Madonna is a Catholic institution. You do not have to be Catholic to attend, but we like for families to know that when their students are applying. And if you're interested in continuing your faith, if you're interested in dialoguing with other faiths and broadening your horizons and just learning to be well-rounded and work with other areas, this is an area where that takes place. This area is the Take 5 Lounge, or as students like to call it, the Take. This is where students are able to come and they can gather and they can relax. This is where you can eat, you can study together, and you'll also notice that there are a line of TVs here that students can sit in front of and they can dial into the university student accounts on Netflix and Hulu. This is one of the eateries that we have on campus, and we proudly serve Starbucks here. This is where you can get your convenient setup that you would find in a gas station, so it's been known to be called the Madonna Gas Station. And across from that, that is where you will find the grill to order foods. Now, we do offer foods that accommodate food restrictions or allergies. So if that is something that you have a need, you can talk to one of our faculty members here and they can give you that information. Or you can dial into our Bites app and you can search the foods that are being offered that day in either the Take or the dining hall, which we'll see later. Now over here, this world mural, this is our study abroad office. So if you're looking to travel while you're in college, we got you covered. Study abroad programs here at Madonna, you will have classes that are your standardized study abroad classes that go away for the entire semester. But for the most part, you'll have in-person instruction here throughout the semester. And then during the pre-scheduled breaks, that's when you'll actually travel. This way, you're not missing contact hours in your other classes and you don't have to worry about differing time zones and when to turn in your assignments. Across from the Take, this is where you will find campus ministry. So again, Madonna is a Catholic institution, but you are not required to be Catholic to attend. But if it's something that you are interested in continuing, or if you're looking for service learning projects, which does tie into our principles here at Madonna, you can find access to that here in campus ministry. Across from campus ministry, this is typically where you will find career development as well as your success coaches, one of the advisors that you have. Make note of career development though, because when you're ready to do your resumes, LinkedIn accounts, mock interviews for internships or job interviews that may be coming up, you can find access to those resources right here. We also have an exclusive listing of job opportunities for Madonna students through our program, Handshake. So now let's take a look down the 1400 hallway. Here is where you will find the Transition Center. This is for our adult learners or for our students who took a break before coming back to college, and you can get assistance here. You'll also find assistance here if you are an international student or if you are a veteran, and the Transition Center is here to make sure that all of you guys have a smooth transition in getting acclimated back into college life. Next to the Transition Center, this is where you will find the MLA, or the Mosaic Leadership Academy, where they focus on leadership, professional development, diversity and inclusion, and also service learning. This is a scholarship opportunity offering $4,000 a year, and if this is something you're interested in, talk to your admissions officer for more information so that we can get you connected with this program. Across from the Mosaic Leadership Academy, this is where you will find service learning and civic engagement. Students all get a chance to participate in service learning as well as the day of service at the university, and this is something that's incorporated in your University 1010, and again, you will find this theme woven throughout your programs here at Madonna. This area, this is our Sign Language Learning Lab, where it's a state-of-the-art area for our students engaged in learning sign language. And you'll be learning sign from day one, so voices off and hands up. You'll be learning from instructors whose first language is American Sign Language. And as you progress through the program, if you decide that you're interested in interpreting, you will be learning how to interpret from certified interpreters. You'll notice around the circumference of this room that there are voter mail booths that are stationed there with computers inside. This allows students to utilize the computers to record their assignments, and the professors will watch those recordings. They will record their feedback. And so you're learning what it's like to engage in sign language face-to-face, and also what it's like through technology, because technology does play a big part in the deaf community and the sign language world. This is our nursing simulation lab, where all of the equipment inside is fully functioning, and it's the equipment you'll find in hospitals today. So you'll be prepared for the real world when it's time for you to get to your job. Now you'll notice in the simulation that there's a two-way mirror over here that we'll talk about in a second. First, let's take a look at this conference room. This is where your professors will sit down with you after your simulation to go over best practices, what was done well, and what can be improved upon. You'll notice in this control room that you can see into the simulation rooms, and this is where your professors will be, and they are operating the simulation. So they can talk to you through it. You'll be able to hear the heartbeats, you can hear the lungs expand, you can hear blood and all of those things moving through the simulations. So again, you're prepared for the real world, and your professors control all of that in here. Let's take a look at the triage. So those of you that are interested in working in the emergency room, you'll get that preparation here. This is where you learn to draw blood, where you learn to insert an IV, and there are other simulations and workshops that you go through here so that, again, you are prepared for real-world situations. We also have an end-of-care simulation that you will go through, because we do know that you need to be able to process that and what it's like to lose a patient. So we want students to be ready from birth all the way to end of life. So when you get out there, you're ready. Over here, this is student life, where it's all about you and your life here at Madonna. This is where you will find access to first-year experience and your peer mentors. If you are living in the residence hall or choosing to live in the residence hall, this is where you'll be able to find the director for residence life. And this is also where you'll be able to find information for our 40+ registered student organizations. Now keep in mind, if we don't have a student organization that you're interested in, all you need is 3 other students and at least 1 faculty staff advisor, and bada bing, bada boom, you've started your own student organization. We want to ensure that you are having a good time in your classrooms and outside so that you'll have a holistic college experience. Let's take a look at the Franciscan Center, also known as the Math and Science Building, but most students refer to it as the Fran. This was the first building within the Livonia proper that received the Gold Standard Green LEED Award. That's leading in engineering and economic design. So this is an eco-friendly building which plays into the Madonna principles of reverence for creation. The floors are made out of recycled cork, and the tables are made out of recycled paper into a material called paper stone. This area that you're looking at, this is the gathering space. We will host events here, but this is also where students will gather day to day to study together or just to hang out. Over here, this is where you will find the Spirit Store. This is where you can get all things Madonna swag. This is also where you will pick up your books when they are ordered and they are sent to the university at least around 2 weeks before classes start. We don't host books here on campus because, again, in reverence of creation, we want to make sure that if you're going to be getting paper books or digital, that we're getting those and not having access and wasteful things around campus. Over here, this is the Science Lecture Hall inside the Franciscan Center. This is where we'll host some of the science lectures as well as guest events and seminars. Along this first level, we have a couple of classrooms and then also our science lab. So let's take a look. This is one of the classrooms that you will find here in the building. And then over here, this nifty little area, this is called the Ghost Wing. This is a hallway that connects all of the classrooms on this floor. And you'll also notice that professors who teach in these classrooms, their offices are tucked inside this Ghost Wing. So if you have office hours with your professor, this is where you'll find them. Some of the things to note about these classrooms is that because of the Ghost Wing, none of the equipment, chemicals, or experiments have to go out into the main hallway with the rest of the student body, so you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. These are your standard science classrooms. If you're interested in forensic science or biomedicine, the more in-depth labs will be found on the second floor of this building. This area is our Broadcast and Cinema Arts department. If you're interested in film, we've got you covered. If you don't have access to your own equipment, no worries, we got you covered there too. At no additional cost to you, you have access to the fully loaded Edit Lab that is loaded with Mac computers and all of the programs you can anticipate utilizing in the broadcast field. You'll also have access to cameras, microphones, lighting, and other equipment that's needed to learn in this field. Over here, this is one of the private edit suites that students can rent to up to 3 hours so that they can work on their projects privately as needed and as desired. Let's go take a look at the professional state-of-the-art TV studio. This area is the Dairy Studios, so let's take a look at the control room. Inside the control room, you'll have equipment just like at Good Morning America. So you get experience from working with the cameras to directing all the way to producing. Over in the TV studio, let's take a look. Inside here, when that door is closed, it is completely soundproof. So we don't hear anything that's going on outside. So we have a smooth recording experience. The floor has an epoxy coating, so the cameras are gonna get a smooth glide for a really cool shot. And then also, you know, Infinity War could be going on and we would have no clue. We have a lot of fun in this area and we look forward to having you in this program. Now, family and friends, at this point you're probably wondering, that's all great and fine, but is my child safe on your campus? Yes. Over here, this is campus safety. And our campus safety department has a close working relationship with the Livonia Police Department. You'll also note that there are blue phones around the campus, so you can dial into campus safety at any time. And there are also phones hanging on the walls inside each building that students can pick that up and dial 5442 and dial directly into campus safety if they have any questions, concerns, or if they don't want to walk to their car alone at night. Let's take a look at our university chapel. This is where we host daily mass as well as a full worship experience on Sunday mornings. Students are not required to attend, but we do like for them to be aware that this is happening in the event that they're interested. Outside of the chapel and to the left as we go out, this is where you will find the fitness center. This is where students can go to get in a good workout, to de-stress, to relax, or just keep up with their fitness, and all you need is your student ID. Let's go from the fitness center and let's take a look at the dining hall, because I don't know about you, but after all this walking, I'm a little hungry. So let's take a look. This is our newly refurbished dining hall that was completed in the year 2018. It is open to students, and during the semester, it's open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Students can eat here if you have a meal plan, if you have credit or debit, or even with cash. But for our students who have a meal plan, your parents can come visit you and they can eat for free. This is the University Center, one of our residence halls available on campus. The University Center is co-ed and is divided by floor, and it's 2 to a room with a sink and communal restrooms at the end of the hallway, along with common spaces and kitchenettes. Now, because it's attached to the dining hall, the kitchenettes on each floor do not have stoves in them, but no worries. You can just take a quick walk down the hallway to the dining hall. This is also where you will find our unique dance studio for our dance performing arts majors. To my right, your left, this is where you will find the LLC or the Living Learning Center. It's 2 to a room with semi-private bathrooms at the end of each hallway. It's divided by wing, so you have your female wing and your male wing. In between those 2 wings is where you will find the common space and the full kitchenette available to our students. Directly behind me is where you will find the apartments. That's 5 bedrooms to an apartment suite with 2 semi-private restrooms inside, a full kitchen area, dining space, and living space. Please note that laundry is free to all residential students, and if you are a freshman, you are allowed a car on campus. You'll just need your resident parking pass like any other students living in the residence halls, and you can talk to your admissions officer for more information about those parking passes and what the differences would be. All right, so this is the University Quad. This is where you will find the gazebo, a picturesque area for students to study, gather. This is also where we have our yearly pet blessing. So if you have a pet, bring them on out during that event. And you can find out that information in Student Life when you're ready. You'll also notice that there is Cardinal Square. This is another area on campus where students are able to sit outside in warmer weather and study together, or just simply relax and to take in some of the peace that you find here on campus. If you're looking for a little more fitness activity but you want to be outside, thanks to Student Senate, we have a volleyball court as well as a basketball court for students to enjoy. This is our Performing Arts Athletic and Academic Center, also known as the PAC, home of Cruiser the Crusader. Let's take a look inside. Inside, this is where we house over 20 different athletic teams, and this is their weight room, where our athletic teams are able to do their group training and workouts together, and they're able to do that bonding. With state-of-the-art equipment, we know our athletes are going to be in tip-top shape. This is our Recruitment Lounge, where our coaches will meet with their prospective athletes, and when they're ready to sign on to Crusader Nation, this is also where you'll congregate to sign those papers. This area is our state-of-the-art training room, where our athletic trainers will work with our athletes to ensure that they are in tip-top shape, completely healthy, and ready to compete. We are now entering the Alliance Catholic Credit Union Arena, home of our volleyball and basketball teams, and Cruiser the Crusader. For our outdoor sports, we have the outdoor facilities, including the Illich Ballpark, Madonna University Athletic Complex, and the University Field. Welcome to the Felician Sisters of North America's Heritage Center. This building is designed to host different events on campus. It is also one of our eco-friendly buildings, and as you can see next to me, we do have EV charging stations. Now, let's head back to the main admin building to wrap up our tour. This is the Ford Motor Company Technology Wing. This is where you will find the computer labs available to our students. So if you don't have a computer all your own, no worries, we got you covered. You'll still be able to do your online classes, log into Blackboard, and also do your homework and print here in this area. This is also where you will find the IT help desk, so if you get locked out of your student email, your student portal, or your Blackboard accounts, no worries, we can assist you here. Well, Future Crusader and family, that's the end of the tour today. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to the Office of Admissions, where we cannot wait to help you with your questions. Until next time,